Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Ricardo K talking to you. I hope you're listening to me okay. In this video, I'll send a message to one of the, I consider him as one of the main modern black leaders, Dr. Umar Johnson, explaining the situation from the country I live in. I live in Brazil. Brazil is considered as one of the countries with the biggest number of African people with African descent outside of Africa. In this video, I'll show you the situation in Brazil involving black people and the black consciousness and the African consciousness. Well, I could say I have an authority to talk about this subject because I'm in the struggle for more than 10 years, 11 years, more or less, trying to awaken the consciousness of black people here. And believe me, this is the hardest country to try to do this kind of stuff because Brazil has a mark that's the race mixing. And race mixing involves the total lack of African consciousness, the total lack of black consciousness. And Brazil is a white supremacist country. Brazil has a deep connection with white supremacy. In the media, I was a kid in the 90s, and in the media, you only saw white people in positions of admiration. You never saw a black person in a position where the person who was watching would say, "Oh, I feel represented by this person. This person has a nice place, a nice position in society." You never saw this, and this I'm only saying this example in the 90s through television media to illustrate to you how Brazil is deeply linked with white supremacy. But Brazil hasn't only history of black people being brainwashed only by television, but well before that, from the beginning of the invasion of this land called Brazil in 1500s, but the first appearance of a person brought here to be enslaved derives from 1530, 1532, more precisely. In the beginning, the process of indoctrination was made by religion. And it still is today, but in the beginning, religion was the main source of brainwashing and destruction of the African consciousness. Well, in the past, African consciousness didn't have the same meaning as it has today. But I mean, the Catholic Church in the 16th century was the main character involved in the destruction of the minds of black people, in the destruction of the minds of African people. This was the first way. But it worked together with violence. Religion and violence are two very important ingredients to indoctrinate and to implant the fear and the mental blindness of a person in relation to reality. It still is today, but I'm referring more precisely to the 16th century, the beginning of the history of African slavery here in Brazil. And it was like this: religion and violence. They were the two ingredients, the two main ingredients for a long time until media appeared. The media took this place and assumed it and occupied the first place in the front of the process of indoctrination, brainwashing of black children, black teenagers, black adults, and still is today. I need to say this continuation of history for you to understand what makes today black Brazilians behave the way they behave. And uh, together with all those ingredients, when slavery ended, well, legalized slavery ended in 1888 in Brazil, the majority of black people didn't go to school. Black people were forbidden to go to school. And when they were allowed to go to school, when they could attend school, from that time until today, they have no contact, almost no contact with the real history of Africa and the real history of ancient black civilizations. And the process of slavery and the Freedom Act in 1888, both the slavery and the emancipation of enslaved people here in Brazil was different from that in US. In US, since the beginning, in America, since the beginning, black people, since the beginning of, after the emancipation, black people were separated from whites, yes? There was the separation until the 1960s there in US. Here in Brazil it was different. I don't know, I know the history of slavery in United States, but not so deeply as I know here in Brazil. So I have the authority to speak better about the history here in Brazil. And in the period of slavery, legalized slavery in Brazil, it was very common to see the masters having sons, having kids with their enslaved black women. And they considered some of the kids they had by rape, of course, of the enslaved women. They considered their sons in many cases, because the process of race mixing in Brazil in the beginning was due to the lack of women of Portuguese origins here. When the Portuguese came, it came only men. If there were women, were very little Portuguese white women. So in the beginning, the whites, the invaders, they had relations with indigenous women. They raped indigenous women and had kids with indigenous women. And in many cases, they considered the sons of this process. They considered their sons because they needed people to occupy this vast land. It wasn't so vast as it is today because, well, I'm not entering this situation, but Brazil in the past, in the 16th century, didn't have the size it has today, because it was part belonged to Portugal, and the other part belonged to Spain. But in the beginning, to occupy this land, the Portuguese, after raping indigenous women, they consider the kids derived from this relation as their sons. So these kids could make part of the Portuguese invasion and domination of the area, and they could serve as a link between the Portuguese and the indigenous people, the native people, who were sometimes hostile to the occupation of the Portuguese. So these kids, they were used as a link to brainwash the Indians, the indigenous people, so they could uh, comply with, they could say, okay, I'll let the Portuguese occupy here and take domain of everything. And the religion, the religious priests, they were a major part in this also. They they applied the process of turning indigenous into Catholics, so they could accept the culture and the reasons why Portuguese were trying to conquer the lands. And a process very similar to this, of having kids with other people and considering these kids as their sons, so they could serve as protectors of the Portuguese, so they could serve as people with guns, because the masters of the sugar mill houses, the security people, their security people were constituted in many cases, were constituted by their half-breed Portuguese and indigenous sons and their half-breed African and Portuguese sons. They used their sons derived from the race mixing process in the 16th century to serve the occupation of these lands. This was the beginning of the cultural destruction of the people of the Brazilian lands, the natives, and after the Africans who came here, kidnapped, to be enslaved, to work for the masters in the cultivation of sugar and other commodities. But uh, passing on to more modern times, those times of slavery are very rooted in the culture of Brazil today. Very, very rooted. So, what happens? The majority of black people, they behave the exact way as whites want them to behave, and they defend and protect the white cultural landmarks, the white cultural sayings, and they don't know anything about themselves as being black people. They don't know anything what represents to be a black person in Brazil, in a country that's so soaked in African blood. Since I was a kid, I was born in a city, in a capital, uh, in the northeast region. I felt this bad vibration. There's something wrong here. There's something really wrong. I felt it. And when I was growing up and became an adult, and I studied about the history of my people, about the African history by myself, by my own dedication. I looked for this in the internet because school didn't teach me that. No one told me about that. It was like an illumination that came to me to by myself look for the history of my people. When I was studying and learning more, I became totally aware of that those feelings I felt when I was a kid. I understood what I felt and why I felt there was something wrong with that place, because the city where I was born in was the main city in the 16th and 17th century, was the city with the biggest number of enslaved Africans in Brazil. And today I know there are many public spaces where uh, in the underground layer there are corpses of enslaved people. When the government goes there and to build something, I know, a tunnel, for example, they first have to pass through a archaeological liberation. So they dig to see if there are some historical elements, and they always find skulls of ancient enslaved people. Brazil has a history of pure brutality toward black people. It wasn't only in the era of slavery, but it is today. It is today, and that's what makes me so angry, because black people don't give a shit about it. They don't care. They are black only on their skins, but inside them they're totally white. And this is the reason why, after I've dedicated my life for more than 10 years to try to awaken black people up about their history, about their African descent, and about the importance to know yourself as being an African person, is trying to heal your people from all the wounds that have been inflicted upon us by white people, and also by other black people that are black only on their skins, but inside of their heads they're whites. It's like the movie Get Out. The movie Get Out represents black Brazilians perfectly. When the white person is put inside the brains of a black body and control it totally, as the movie Get Out. This is 99% of black Brazilians. And it is the definition of being lonely. Is this one? When you see the reality, but all other people from your own people can't see or don't want to see the reality. So you're by yourself. I feel totally by myself here in Brazil. And that's why I'm sending this message only for black people who are committed to the African liberation, and to stop for our generation not to be only one generation of talkers, of people with a great capacity of speaking. We have to build our own community. We have to buy lands. And when I say we have to buy lands, we really have to buy lands. We need to look, to search for lands in the internet, and raise funds to buy one. For example, this is my goal here in Brazil, and I'm sending this message also asking for help from for uh, financial financial cooperation from you, brothers and sisters, the whole world, for us to raise funds to buy lands to build our own the main establishments, the main facilities are schools, hospitals, technological centers for us to develop technologically, develop guns that are very important, weapons. We will only be an independent people, a powerful people, when we have the most powerful weapons. This is how the world works. This is how the world works. So we need land. We need land to build our own streets, our own roadways, our own hospitals, our own technological centers to everything, to develop technologically, to develop weapons, to develop remedies, and so on. And this is why I'm sending this message to you, Mark Johnson, to other black leaders, and to the black people in general who are really committed to the African liberation. We have to do this now, today, not be one more generation than that. From this time on, from this time to 3 years, you see me with 10 years, you see me with white hair, talking the same thing. I don't want it. I want it to happen now. The liberation of African people, for black children to have security, for black young people not be hunted in the streets as they are in Brazil. And I need your help, brothers and sisters, to make it. So I make this appeal for the cooperation of you financially, mainly because we need money to build our own 100% African community, only with those black people who are committed. The other ones, they are our enemies. The other people, the other black people who don't care about our people, stop trying to wake them up. We don't have more time. We need to build our community with only those black people who are committed to the liberation of African people and to restore our connection with the morals and values and the philosophical and scientific greatness of ancient Kemet, of ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet is where we have to put our minds to reconnect with the greatness of that civilization, but correcting the errors they committed, as not have powerful guns and powerful armies to destroy our enemies, to destroy those who stay on our way to our restoration of our greatness. Thank you, brothers, who watched this whole video. I hope the message has been well understood, and I hope you follow me here, not to like my videos. Oh, I like the way he speaks. I like the content. For us to build our own community now. We don't have more time.